So Nina says, "Hi, Matthew. How long do you give a man before you can assume he doesn't want to contact you again?" Well, it's not that you should assume that he does or doesn't want to contact you again. What you should do is figure out what's acceptable to you, right? So if a guy might leave and then come back in 6 months or 3 months or 8 months or something like that. We have women that talk about this all the time, right? Where a guy will disappear or ghost, and then he'll come back like 8 months later and he's like, "Hey, what's up? Remember that last conversation we were having? Let's continue off there," right? And it's like, is that really acceptable to you? Is that what you want? Is that the kind of relationship that you want to be in? And so instead of assuming that he doesn't want to contact you again, figure out what works for you, right? If you're in the first kind of dating stages of a relationship where you're first kind of seeing each other, it can be normal to go, 4 to 7 days without being in contact with each other necessarily. If you guys have busy schedules, you're both professionals, you're working a lot, you set up a schedule to meet again, and then you meet again, and it's kind of a long period of time away from each other, in terms of like days, right? That can be a normal thing. If you're in a relationship, though, it depends, like tell us more about what your situation is, and we'll talk more about whether that's normal or not, right? Because it can be normal. It might not be normal. One of the challenges that a lot of women sometimes have when they come to us, when they come to me, is they'll be like, well, this guy does this, and sometimes it's normal behavior and they're freaking out for no reason. And sometimes it's abnormal behavior, and you need to know whether he's doing something that's normal or abnormal, and whether you're freaking out for no reason or whether you're freaking out for a good reason, right? And so that's more of what you kind of want to look at than, how long you can assume that he doesn't want to contact you again. He might want to contact you again, in a long years from now, who knows? But are you still going to be single? Are you going to be sitting around waiting for him? The answer is no, and you shouldn't be. And you shouldn't be waiting months. You shouldn't be waiting weeks. You shouldn't be waiting any of that period of time for this guy to get it together and start contacting you again. You should want to have some kind of ongoing communication, whether it's, a couple of days or, somewhere around a week. Anytime less than that, you shouldn't be going more than a week without a guy contacting you at all. If you're in the date, especially if you're in the dating phase, if you're in the a relationship situation, the only time that might happen is if he has some kind of crazy thing go on. Like sometimes men will have people that, pass away in their family, or they'll have huge emergencies at work where it just sucks all their time up, but they can still kind of reach out to you and just be like, "Hey, everything's cool. Just wanted to check in with you," and all that kind of stuff. And so, especially with the amount of technology that we have today, you can send somebody a text message in a couple of seconds. It doesn't take a long time. And so if he's not in contact with you, you need to make sure that he knows what you want, right? You need to communicate with him what you're looking for, what your standards are, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. That way he knows that you want to be communicated with more often. I hope that answered your question there, Nina.